So, hello all, welcome to this series of fan engagement motivation, where we are talking to some passionate IPL fans and trying to understand the factors that motivate them to follow a specific IPL franchise very passionately. So, in this series, today we have Tanish Gulati with us. So, he's a passionate Delhi Capitals fan. So, Tanish, welcome to this show.
Thanks, buddy.
So, first of all, tell me how your journey as an IPL fan or in general as a cricket fan started.
See, basically, if we talk about IPL, I began watching IPL since 2016. Earlier in 2016, I was a proper RCB fan, but after that, when Rishabh Pant scored 128, I have been following Delhi Capitals since then. So I'm a fan since Delhi Capitals since Rishabh Pant scored 128.
Right. So I have to ask you. So why did you start following Royal Challengers Bangalore? Was it because of Virat Kohli, ABD Villiers, or is there any other factor?
Basically, there were two great reasons for supporting RCB. Firstly, for Virat Kohli, and secondly, for the great bonding of Virat Kohli and ABD Villiers.
Right. So now, when you shifted from Royal Challengers Bangalore to Delhi Capitals, so do you see a similar kind of bonding between Shreyas Iyer and Rishabh Pant in Delhi Capitals?
Yeah, absolutely. Like somehow they are different, but they also have a great bonding in when they run between the wickets or maybe behind the stumps, and when they perform for the team, whether it's bowling or batting, they absolutely perform well when the team is under pressure.
Right. And the name change for Delhi, it worked really well. From Delhi Daredevils to Delhi Capitals, they have become a very
Absolutely.
consistent team.
Absolutely, like youngsters perform really well since the first season when the name was changed from Delhi Daredevils to Delhi Capitals. So if we take examples, there are many great youngsters who have been consistently performing really well. Like if we have great examples like Rishabh Pant and Shreyas Iyer and Nokia, Tegiswara Bada and Shimran Hetmyer, and there are many other great examples as well.
Right. And when we see and when we talk about Delhi Capitals, a lot of Delhi Capital players are now part of Indian team in different formats. So as a fan, how does it feel your Delhi players playing cricket across all formats throughout the year?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great way to think about, like many of the great players have performed consistently very well over the past 6 months, whether it's the tour of Australia or England tour of India. They have been performing consistently well. And if we take an example of IPL 2020, they also performed really well. And moreover, we also got a great performance by Rishabh Pant in the Gaba test against Australia, which was the final test.
Right. And how is it like to have an Indian captain, a young Indian captain leading the franchise, be it Shreyas Iyer or now it's Rishabh Pant? So as a fan, how does it feel?
For Delhi or for India?
Yeah, for India and for Delhi.
For Delhi, like in the absence of Shreyas Iyer, Rishabh Pant got a chance. I am extremely happy for him because Rahane and Steven Smith are not a fully furnished player like uh, Ajinkya Rahane played his last T20 against West Indies back in 2016. So somehow he will be a bit rusty, and moreover, they couldn't get chances. Maybe they will not get chances that much in IPL 2021. So that's why Ricky Ponting have backed both of them and gave a chance to Rishabh Pant as a youngster always performs well.
Right. And we see that some franchisees they go for overseas captain because they bring
Yeah.
that experience in the franchise in the leadership group. But Delhi Capitals they have gone for young Indian players. So do you think that young fans they connect well with the franchise when they see a young player leading the franchise?
Yeah, absolutely. Like it basically depends on the like if for example if we take an example of a particular product in the market, it basically has a target audience. So if we look similarly in cricket, it also has a similar fan base according to the captain and age group. Like if we have a look at Virat Kohli, some youngsters will already take him as an inspiration, and somehow Rishabh Pant is also doing the same. He has done many great great, great. He has many great knocks for his team, whether it's for India or whether it's for Delhi Capitals. So similarly, he also has a great and a huge fan base similar to Virat Kohli, and he is performing very well.
Right. So, since you talked about Rishabh Pant bringing that brand value to the franchise and the kind of fan base that he brings, so when there is a young team that is playing very exciting cricket, so do you think that Delhi's target audience is just the young population, or they also expect the elder generation to follow the franchise?
Mainly they have a huge fan base which totally depends on their performance. Like there are some youngsters and there are some experienced players as well who give a great momentum to the team. Like if we take the example of Shikhar Dhawan, if any youngster doesn't perform well, and Ricky Ponting also suggests them with their bat, like with the coaching, and moreover there are very great players in the coaching staff like Mohammad Kaf. He also tells and guides the players about how to should they perform and what all the points should they take care of. So slightly it's a match between experienced players and youngsters. So it's a mixture of both of all the age groups basically.
Right. And when we talk about the great personalities that are there in Delhi Capital support staff, be it Ricky Ponting, be it Mohammad Kaif or others. So Australians usually say that when Ricky Ponting says something, it must happen and it will happen. So do you believe the same, that the way Ricky Ponting is training these youngsters, this team is performing consistently, that this season they can go all the way and win their first title?
Yeah, absolutely. Like Ricky Ponting is surely a great and experienced player. He has played for Australia and many great matches he has played. So being a experienced player, he has more knowledge about cricket, and maybe he can guide his team very well. And like we saw in the previous year, Delhi Capitals came till the finals, where they faced a great team which has won 5 cups. So playing against a great side, it's a big thing for such a young team.
Right. That's absolutely true. And when we see Delhi, so their social media campaign, so they do lot of stuff for the local Delhi people, be it bringing content around their monuments or the dog feeding drives and all. So how does that impact you as a fan? Does it make you feel more connected with the franchise?
Yeah, basically, like other than performing the sports sector, they also help the animals and other great peoples with their interesting content, and moreover, it also gives a message to youngsters like children who want to work for the society. So it is basically a great campaign for the fans and for other people who are not a fan of cricket. So it basically gives a great message to them, like helping and giving a great message to the environment. So basically, it's a great point from the team and from the team management.
Right, absolutely. And when Delhi Capitals, they use the hashtag and they say that ye hai nayi Delhi. So what does that mean to you as a fan?
Basically, the hashtag says that we are new players and we are bound to perform really well, and hopefully we will work hard for our team and get a cup this time.
Right. Absolutely, absolutely. So, talking about the cup and the performance, so do
Yeah.
you feel that performance really helps in attracting a lot of fans? Because we have been seeing that Delhi Capitals has been very consistent, and a lot of fans have moved from other franchisees to Delhi Capitals because they see that kind of consistent performance from them season after season.
Yeah, absolutely. Like performing is a key for a particular player. And if we see a great example back in 2016, Virat Kohli also performed really well with his bat with 973 runs. So giving a chance to a youngster as well as an experienced player, it will surely help. Like if we take example, an experienced player plays really well when the team collapse, whereas some of the youngsters perform well with the bat with the very first ball. Like a defensive batsman and attacking batsman is necessary for a particular team, whether it's international cricket or Indian Premier League. So basically, more youngsters have been performing consistently well since 2016. Like recently, Devdutt Padikkal and Prithvi Shaw, they performed really well in the Vijay Hazare Trophy. So surely giving a chance to a youngster is a great point for future as well and for the team as well.
Right. And when it comes to giving chance to youngsters, so do you believe that in IPL, when an unknown talent or an Indian youngster, he comes and performs brilliantly, so he gets that kind of recognition so that he doesn't get by playing anywhere else?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said previously, IPL is a great platform for to showcase your talent. IPL has a great performer every year since 2008. So it is a great point for giving all the players a particular momentum through which they can share or tell more about their experience which they have received from 2008 till now. So like if we take the example of India tour of Australia back in 2020, when the team was in a bad condition after the 36 all out ratio, the the youngsters only performed well when Virat Kohli was back to India. So Washington Sundar and Rishabh Pant, they performed really well so that the team could win the series and win the match as well. So it was a great point for the youngsters to showcase their talent.
Right. And for a fan, what attracts a fan more? A player like Ben Stokes scoring a century, or a player like Rahul Tewatia playing a match winning knocks against Kings 11 Punjab?
See, basically, these are two different players who have been from different eras, so we can't compare both of them. Like most of the people compare Sachin from 2000, from his debut years till now to Virat Kohli. They both are different, so we can't compare a particular player. So they both are known for their own playing. Like Ben Stokes is a different player and Rahul Tewatia is a different player. They both perform well according to their condition and their temperament, and moreover for according to the condition of their team. So it totally depends on how they perform for their team and for their country as well.
Right. But for a fan, what a fan likes to watch more? An unknown talent performing or a known talent performing?
Unknown talent performing well so that he gets a chance for his country, so that more youngsters get a chance to perform well. Like a known player will somehow get a chance, but after a few times he might retire according to his age. But if an unknown talent performs well, he might get a chance after maybe 2 or 3 years, but it will surely help the team to perform well and get a name with a golden chance.
Right. And so we have seen that when we compare Delhi and Mumbai, we find a common pattern in both of them, that both of them go with two overseas bowlers, they go with one key all rounder, and then they have one top order overseas players in both of them. So do you feel like this is the winning formula, having two overseas bowlers in the playing 11?
Yeah, absolutely. Like two overseas bowlers, one all rounder and one batsman who can perform well. It gives a great chance. In case an Indian player doesn't perform well, it will surely help the team. Like Marcus Stoinis performed well against a team, and moreover, Kekiswar Rabada. We have seen the example of when there was a match between Delhi Capitals and KKR with the super over critics of Kekiswar Rabada. He performed really well. So it is a great. He gave a great momentum to the team so that they could win the super over, and moreover they could get a name for their team.
Right. And when we see and when we talk about Delhi Capitals,
Yeah.
so they represent a kind of flavor, a kind of game that is new to the cricketing world. So they play very aggressive cricket, and then they show that maturity, that calmness. So as a fan, what do you think is the reason behind this combination of aggression plus calmness?
Yeah, basically it totally depends on the condition of a team. Like if the team is in a bad condition, calmness is the key to success. Like if the team is in bad condition, like I told about the example of the GABA test, where the youngsters performed well, where when some experienced players couldn't perform well, it is a process to calmness, and where if we need aggressiveness, we can show it in T20Is and ODI cricket as well. So it's both. It depends on the format, whether it's Test, T20I, or any other format. So it totally gives. It depends on the situation whether we should go with calmness or aggression.
Right. So you started following the Delhi Capitals since 2017. So what motivated you to stick to Delhi Capitals so far after 4 seasons?
Basically, the great performance of youngsters like Rishabh Pant and Prithvi Shaw and Shreyas Iyer when they performed with the first season, the debut match, it attracted me a lot with their performance, and I became a Delhi Capitals fan.
Right. So for you, performance matters the most. So whereas we see that in most of the franchisees, or if we talk about IPL in general, so many franchisees have fans of just one player. They follow that franchise because of one particular player. So all the RCB fans are just Virat Kohli fans. All the MI fans are just Rohit Sharma fans. So, do you think that in DC there is, if there is this kind of personality, or DC fans are the fans of the overall DC teams?
Yeah, earlier before Rishabh Pant and Shreyas Iyer, it was Shikhar Dhawan maybe, and after the great performance of Rishabh Pant in international cricket, it has to be Rishabh Pant because he has the X factor, which makes him a different player in comparison of other players. So it has to be Rishabh Pant for me.
Right. And now Rishabh Pant as captain, so he will attract a lot of fans from all over the IPL fraternity. So, do you believe
Yeah.
that?
Absolutely, like a great performance is a great performance by a great player works a lot. So IPL is a performer. IPL is a platform which gives youngsters a chance. Like there are many examples since 2008 till now. So the young and aggressive Rishabh Pant is surely gonna work this year, and he will give momentum to his team, and moreover, he will get a cup to his team.
Right. And we have seen that when a franchise has Indian captain, the that particular team or that particular franchise performs really well. So it worked for Delhi in the past when Sehwag was captain. It worked for Delhi in the past when Shreyas Iyer was the captain. So do you believe the same pattern is going to continue?
Yeah, absolutely. Like performance is the only thing which matters across any format. So if the team for performance, a team only depends on the performance of the team. So if the team works and the team coordination works, then only the team can perform well. Not only a single player performance works, the whole coordination in the bowling department, in the death overs, and the batting. All these are the main three factors which work so that a team can win. So basically, the batting point and bowling, and moreover death overs and fielding is a key to win a particular match, depending on any other format.
Right. And if you have to point out to one factor to which most of the Delhi fans get attracted to, so when we talk about, for example, Punjab, so it's their aggressive play. When we talk about RCB, it's the Virat ABD duo. So similarly, what's it for Delhi Capitals that attracts the fan the most?
Firstly, it's Rishabh Pant, and secondly, it's Iyer-Pant because they perform up to the mark from the very first ball. If we take the example of Rishabh Pant, he performs from the very first ball, whereas uh, Iyer-Pant performs with the very first ball, like whether it's a super over or whether he is given a chance in the middle overs or death overs.
Right. So Delhi fans are mainly performance driven. Their team is performing really well, and that's why they are following Delhi Capitals. But what will happen if Delhi has a bad season in the absence of Shreyas Iyer?
No, I don't think so. With the absence of Shreyas Iyer, Delhi Capitals will lack somehow because Rishabh Pant performed consistently very well in the T20I and ODI series against England. So it's a great point of view. Although Shikhar Dhawan will somehow struggle a bit, but Prithvi Shaw is in red hot form. If we take the example of Vijay Hazare Trophy, so surely he is gonna rock this time. And moreover, Kegishwar Abada and Rich Nokia, they also performed well in the ODI series and T20 ODI series against Pakistan. So it is a crucial moment for the Delhi Capitals team.
Right. And nowadays we see that there is a lot of focus on the social media game. So we see social media banters between different franchisees, and we see that all the fans, they want to see those training videos and all that. So as a fan, what do you think that Delhi should do to attract more fans?
Basically the practice session, and other than that, the main point of view which attracts a particular fan is aggressive batting ahead of the IPL. And moreover, some players are there who perform well on and off the field, and the great bondings between them also works a lot other than on the field. Like if we take the example of RCB, they have Virat and ABD. So similarly, somehow they also have a great combination with Rishabh Pant and Rabada in the absence of SHREYAS Iyer. So surely they will work out with the plans, and maybe Rishabh Pant and Kegishwar Rabada are going to perform really well, and they will be the X factor this year.
Right. So, on a lighter note, we see that the way David Warner leads Sunrisers Hyderabad, so he brings that kind of flavor to Sunrisers Hyderabad on the field and off the field with his social media content and all. So, similarly, in Delhi Capitals, you have Shikhar Dhawan who dances really well. So, do you think that Shikhar Dhawan could have brought more fans if he would have led Delhi Capitals instead of Rishabh Pant?
Yeah, Shikhar Dhawan could have also got a chance as a captaincy, but but I mentioned accordingly, like Rishabh Pant is a youngster, and moreover, Ricky Ponting will eye a youngster over a experienced player, because giving a chance to a youngster is a much important key to success for a particular team, depending on the all three criterias. So giving a chance to Rishabh Pant is also a great point of view for the Delhi Capitals team, other than giving a chance to Steven Smith, Ajinkya Rahane, or Shikhar Dhawan.
Right. And coming to probably a couple of last questions. So, how important is it for a young Indian player to play in a franchise where he feels secure? So, for example, if there is a player playing for RCB where there are great players like Virat Kohli and ABD, so do you think a player in RCB feels more pressure to perform as compared to a player in Delhi Capitals where there are lot of other youngsters and the franchise shows faith in them?
Yeah, like I mentioned previously, like whether it's a youngster or an experienced player, it only matters with the consistency and temperament which they show on the field. So, like if we take the example of previous year, that is IPL 2020, with the bat, Glenn Maxwell couldn't perform well according up to the mark for Kings 11 Punjab. So later we saw a great knock by him in the Australia series against New Zealand. He performed up to the mark with a T20 with a T20 format with his bat. So somehow he furnished himself and furnished his form back, and he got his form back. So giving a chance to a particular player with a different franchise also gives a great momentum to the team to and to the player as well. So giving a chance to other player in a different team, the auction is the key which helps a particular player to transform himself from a older to a fully furnished and red hot form player.
So, probably coming to the last question. So, there are three franchisees who haven't won the IPL till now: Delhi
Yeah.
Capitals, Punjab Kings, and Royal Challengers Bangalore. So, this time, all of them look very strong on paper. So, among these three, which franchise do you think will win the title first and why?
I think any other team can win, but I don't want MI back again. But what I think is maybe SRH, because they have a other than DC, SRH is the team which can form up to the mark, like with their batting skills and the bowling department. it's Mohammad Nabi, Mujibur Rahman, Rashid Khan, and with the batting department, they also have great overseas player who can perform up to the mark. So, other than DC, it has to be SRH.
Right, right. So it was really nice talking to you, and I hope that Delhi wins its maiden title this year. So best of luck to you.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming to the show.
Thanks.